Hey, Nathan here from PHStudios, and welcome to another video discussing the tower defense game. I released a couple of tutorials last week and the week before to premium members, and I will be releasing videos next week. Probably next weekend, I will start releasing 1 or 2 tutorials daily on average. Some days I might be sick or something might come up, but on average, I'll release 1 or 2 tutorials a day. That'll be next weekend. Mark that on your calendar. Sunday, April the 22nd is when I'll start doing that. So this week, I plan to get the new version out, 1.1, and I just want to do a quick video to discuss the tower defense game in general and the patches that I recently did the week that I released the game, so April 2nd and April 4th, and then what's going to come up in the next few months with this game. And if you have any other ideas, please leave me a comment and let me know if you can think of a cool map that I could add, or what a cool monster might be, or something that you'd like to see, and we can go from there. So again, starting April 22nd, I will start releasing 1 or 2 tutorials daily. So for premium members, I will release the 2 new tutorials on April 21st, and then April 22nd, I will make 2 more videos to discuss version 1.1 and the schedule. And then the 2 tutorials that I released the previous day will be available to everybody on YouTube or my forums, or however you want to gain access to the videos. And then premium members will get 2 more on top of that. So premium members get 2 tutorials a day before everybody else, and then it'll sort of be like a buffer, so to speak. Alright, so for this video, I just want to do a brief discussion on the game. So far, people have only mentioned a little bit of bugs, and they did mention the user interface bug that I fixed in version 1.0.1, and they just needed to go and download that. Other than that, there haven't been that many big bugs, so I hope that means that it's a good thing that I did not create a bug that was discoverable, or my game doesn't have any bugs. Not major bugs. I know it might have some minor bugs. But anyway, keep on trying to break my game, and do whatever you can to find the bugs, and then I'll be able to get them fixed. So anyway, let's go and look at the version numbers. So 1.0.1 I did fix to where you had the buy tower. It did not deactivate or activate. You had to deselect the tower and select it again for it to work. And I also fixed a bug where some users were not able to run the game. Now version 1.0.2, some people were still unable to run the game, and that was because I was using the high def profile instead of reach. I changed that. Now, if you're not an XNA programmer, you just care about the game. When the game targets high def profile, that means that it uses a updated, it's a more advanced graphics card is needed, and shaders are needed. It just needs better computer hardware to run the game. When I target reach, it will run on older computers and stuff like that. So I changed the target to target older hardware for the people that want to play the game. Now, I left it on high def for future. I was going to do a whole bunch of shaders and stuff like that. But I'll probably tweak that to make it work on the reach profile. So it'll work on every older generation graphics cards and stuff like that. Alright, so now let's talk about the future versions. 1.1, I hope to get that out by the end of this week. What you'll see is a few bug fixes, a brand new map, a vector map, vector graphics, just like, if you've seen the movie Tron, it'll basically look like that. Just line graphics, the towers will just be lines and circles and shapes, and the monsters will be shapes, stuff like that. more sounds, more bosses, and click once deployment auto-updating. If I do not get that finished by 1.1, I'll push that to 1.2, but it should be pretty simple to deploy using click once. I was going to have that on 1.0, but I ran into an issue where basically when the click once deployment fails, it says click here to go to the support webpage. Now I had that take you to the PHStudios webpage, but that caused a bug where it would open like 20 tabs, and every word in the error message, in the click once error messages, was a tab. So it went to like test.com and error.com, so it actually went to a website that threw my antivirus a error message. So I really want to test that fully as much as I can so that does not happen again. I don't want people getting sent to a non-secure webpage because click once sent it to you and all that stuff. Alright, 1.2, there will be a new map space. So it'll be like my space shooter video, my space shooter game and video series, except it'll be a space tower defense game. You can have towers that just have like a missile tower that'll hit the spaceships, and you might have static spaceships or something like that that can shoot at other spaceships. And then there'll be more sounds and more bosses to go along with that. And also in 1.2, there will be a completed/failed map screen that will give you stats. This is how many monsters you killed out of how many monsters in the entire map. If you failed it, it'll say like 10 out of 20. And it'll give you shortest kill, longest kill, all that stats will be thought of later on. It'll just give you a nice screen that says, hey, you completed the map, and hey, you failed the map. And it'll be a nice screen in between the map and the level selection screen again. Alright, after 1.2, 1.3 should be out in a week or a few days later. It's not going to be that much different, just several map derivatives. Now, what I mean by that is like 4 forest maps. We have one main forest map, and then I'll create 4 other ones from that main map. So I have different waves, different monsters, different towers, but it will all be related to the forest map. A different path and all that stuff, but it'll be all using the forest map textures, forest map towers, and all that stuff. 1.4 should be very quick. It'll be a new map, military/city. What I mean by that is like cars, tanks, militia, snipers. It's just a city, and you have military personnel like snipers and tanks. Tanks will probably be the boss, and all that stuff that'll be in the tower defense military/city map. Okay, now 1.5 is going to have primarily programmer focused for developers using the engine. And now we can use the programmer customizable abilities instead of hard coding abilities. Right now, area of effect and damage over time are hard coded. If you ever want to create an extra one, you have to hard code it into the game. That will be eliminated in version 1.5, and where you can have completely customizable abilities that are not hard coded. You'll create an XML file for that ability. Alright, now 1.5 will come with the level editor for programmers. Now, why do I say programmers? The game operates with content pipeline. For those of you that are not programmers and just want to play the game, you have to compile the game in order to convert the XML files to the XNB files that you see in the folder structure. If you go into the game and go into the folder structure, you will find .xnb files. Those are actually XML files that when you compile the game and distribute it, it'll be converted to an XNB format. So for a level editor, you need to have the ability to create those XNB formats. That means you need the full .NET. You need the full XNA 4.0 in order to do that. The redistributable package does not come with that capability. You need the full version, so this is why I'm targeting it for programmers. Alright, last but not least, we have a tower usefulness pop-up. I took this out of the main release in order to tweak the stats a little bit. What this will do is that when you select a tower, it'll show you its usefulness. How many monsters has it killed, or how much damage has it done, stuff like that. If you have two towers attacking the same monster, and one tower says it only did, let's say, 5% of the total damage for that monster. The other tower did the other 95%. You might want to sell that 5% and grab the poison tower or something like that. You want to drag that into there to replace it, and maybe you can do a little bit more damage. Or you might want to upgrade it a couple times, and maybe it'll be more useful. So anyway, that is the lineup from version 1.1 to 1.5. And I'm sure I'll come up with more ideas as we go along, but that's the schedule. 1.1 should be out I'll be working on it this week, as well as the tutorials. And it should be out by the weekend. And then 1.2 should follow pretty quickly. All I have to do is create a new map. Alright, so I hope you're enjoying the game. I know you probably played it a whole bunch of times and are already bored of it. But hopefully these new maps will renew your interest and make things better. And then when we get to version 1.3, there will probably be like 20 maps that we can do. Remember, we will have the vector and space, so if I do 4 of each, that'll be quite a few maps that you can enjoy. And we'll go from there. One final time, premium members. 2 new tutorials come out the 21st. Everybody else, they will be released the 22nd. After that point, I will be releasing 2 tutorials on a daily basis. I already redid some of those tutorials that I lost in the technical problems. So I'll just be doing slowly releasing them instead of all at once. Alright, so I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope this gives you a good idea on what's to come with the game. Stay tuned for version 1.1, and I'll release a video when I update these. The development series will stay at version 1.0.x until it's done, and then I'll release more tutorials after that. So the 1.0.2 fix will be included in the development series. Pretty much assume every one of these versions, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and all these ones, they will have bug fixes. I don't need to list that every single time. Now, I will do detailed update logs and patch logs like this in any of the updates. So anyway, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you next weekend for the tutorials. Stay tuned and enjoy.